This past year, I made a sitting Santa, and I just used a scrap piece of wood, and I had a lot of fun making him. And I thought, let's make an Uncle Sam the same way. So I painted the top of the wood. I don't even know how much, I didn't measure how much I painted, just the top of it. I painted it with blue acrylic paint. And then I took a piece of fabric, and it's just red and white striped, and it is 9 inches long and 8 inches wide. And I just tacked it down with my glue gun, and the sides I kind of gathered, and then I pulled the bottom all the way up because I want it to be kind of blousey. Is that a word? And then the bottom I just glue on, like I fold it like a present. And then I made him some legs, and the legs were 10.5 inches long and 2.5 inches wide. And I just hot glued them. Now, you could stuff them. I did not stuff them, but I think it'd be really cute if you did stuff them. And then, of course, he needed some boots, so I just took some felt and just cut out a little boot. And I do one whole boot, and then I fold it in half. And then I did put a little cuff on the top of it. Now, when I made the Santa, I did the cuff with Sherpa, but I just used the same felt for Uncle Sam's boot and just made a little trim to it. And then I took a mop head and I cut off the strings, and I cut them in half. And then I start gluing them on. So I always do my first row upside down, because then when you fold it over, it's just kind of clean. It's a clean row. So I do the top one upside down, and then the rest of them I do facing down. And so I do a couple of rows like that, and I just used my Gorilla Glue, and I just put it on. And then this is the tedious part, where you have to pull them all apart. You have to pull them all apart. That's the most tedious part. And so once you get those pulled apart, I gave him a little nose. It's just a little wood bead. And then we're making his mustache now, because Uncle Sam has a mustache. So I just added some more of the mop strings up there. And then I did pull those apart. So just separated those. And then, of course, we have to put his face on. We have to get ready. So we gave him some blush. We put some blush on his cheeks, and we put a little bit on his nose. And then we drew some eyes. We painted them on with black acrylic paint. And then I add some white acrylic paint. There is a close-up picture at the end. I think his eyes came out really cute. I just gave him some little eyelashes on the sides there. And then I added some white to it. And I actually added a couple of dots and then drew a line between the dots. It's very cute. Look at the end. Look at the picture at the end. For the brim of the hat, I took a paint stick and cut it down to, it was 6.5 inches long. And then I just covered it with the same fabric that's on his body. I glued his legs on. They're just going to hang. So you want to make sure he can sit. So you want your wood to be pretty level so that it sits. For his mustache, I put a Chanel stem I glued it inside the mustache part, and then I wrapped the mop head around it. And then I could form it. I could make it stick out, kind of like Uncle Sam's stood out. And then I trimmed his beard, so it was way too long, and I just kind of gave it a triangle trim. And then I put some stars on his hat. I'm just using acrylic paint. So I put a couple of stars up there. And then we made his arms. So I used the same fabric, so it's 10 inches long, but then I cut it in half. Not even in half. So I folded it over and I glued it, and then I stuck a Chanel stem inside, and then I ripped it, and then I folded that in half and cut it. You'll see in a minute. But I wanted him to hold a little sign, so I used some drop cloth, and I used our little typewriter letters. It's a little A-size transfer. They're very cute. It's like a stamp. It's almost like a stamp. It looks like a stamp. Say it again. Stamp. So I just used drop cloth, And then I folded the arms in half and then cut them so they weren't so long. And I glued them to the side of his body. And I love using the Chanel stems because then you can form his little hands, his little arms. I added a little wood bead to the end of his arms and I gave him a sign. And I think he's so cute. I'm in love with him. I think he kind of looks like Uncle Sam. I like his mustache. I'm happy with him. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button for me. Hit that sprinkle button. Look at his eyes. How cute is he? He's cute. Make sure you're following me if you're not, and have a great day. Thank you.